What's up guys, it's me Chris and I've got another great video for you. In this one we've got the old Black Ops controller back out again, and we're going to be doing some R&D today, some research and development with the Easy Remap board. I've got it over there. I'm going to show you how to install it and then we will go from there. Right now this controller is on, but it will not be for long as I'm going to open it up, and I've shown you this 100 times. I've already removed the screws for time's sake, so I'm just gonna try to get this guy out of here as painless as possible. Remove the ribbon cable, move that back. We'll be doing some work on that in a second, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove this battery. Now this is a dead controller. Once you get inside this controller, I need to, and you will as well if you've got a newer controller, need to scope out the inside just to make sure, and let me get tighter so you guys can get a better idea of what I'm doing. Just so you can scope it out and make sure that you have the correct board or a board that the Easy Remap will work with. And the Easy Remap should be just that. Should be a pretty straightforward setup. Show you here, this part goes forward and then we're gonna bend the actual part we connect backwards. So I will show you that here in a second. So, and where you wanna connect that is between the daughter board and the main PCB board. So this is the daughter board here. So ideally you want to put this where this part and this part touch those two connectors that used to be in the center, and we want to lose this old center version. Now if you look on here, there are clearly defined marks where you want to cut this off, and that's how we want to lose it. So we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to hack that bad boy off, and we're going to do that for a couple reasons, but the primary one is to make sure we don't have any loose connection points, because that would be bad news. So yeah, we cut that off, pretty straightforward. We're gonna go ahead and install this in here and try to show you as best I can when it's done. We're just gonna be as neat as we can with it. So that's what it's gonna look like. That bottom is lined up perfectly. You can see my finger through there. So we've got two connections. The next thing we're gonna do is just flip this guy right back over and put everything back together. And once we do that, we should have a nice tight fit. And I'm just checking under the bottom to make sure that is in fact the case. So everything is snapped in. At this point, realistically, you could go ahead and put this front portion of the controller right back together. And so I'm gonna do that, and then we'll actually get to the actual modification. Also guys, it'd be a good idea at this point to put your controller back together, to go ahead and test everything just to make sure you have functionality before you go forward. I'm not even finna worry about that. I'm just finna go for it. YOLO. Next thing I wanna do is take this guy and flip it over. I'm gonna put a little glue there, and I've got my hot glue already ready to go. You can kind of see here. So I'm just gonna hit the hot glue on this board right here, let it dry out a bit, and then once it dries out, I'm gonna apply this guy. I'm gonna flip it over nice and neat and stick it down on that hot glue. That should hold it in place for us, and we'll be ready to mod. I mean, it's literally that easy. So now we've got everything exposed. The only thing we need to do is go ahead and run our leads in the back of the controller where we want those to be, and go ahead and attach wires, and we're ready to rock and roll. So I'll come back once I've modified the back portion of this controller. Real quick, just wanted to show you, people ask me all the time what switches I use. These are the tech switches that I use, 9.5mm high tech switch. Get these, I got them from Radio Shack when they were around, but you can order them online. They work really well for controllers if you want something that's subtle and that has a really nice momentary easy press. These work great. So these are what I like to use, and this is what will be going in the back of this controller. And I've gone ahead and marked where I want these to sit. I want them to sit back a bit further in my hand, just to try something a little different from a comfort angle, so there's not that much adjustment from what I was used to with my other controller. I've gone ahead and tinned the actual points that I'm going to be using in this particular controller, which are X and O, and I've also done 2 grounds, as you can see there. Really easy. Just make sure that you keep your soldering iron at a really low heat when dealing with this board. It is plastic, you'll burn right through it, and you don't really need a lot of heat in order to tin those buttons. I've also gone ahead and added my 2 buttons that I like to use on the back, and both seem to be firing. Got them wired in, so the only thing left to do is to connect a ground and a power, and then we can put this guy back together and call it done. Real quick guys, here's where you actually solder on the easy remap. I've got everything wired in. I've got both buttons wired in, I've got the grounds connected, and I've got the X and O point connected. Pretty straightforward stuff. All right guys, so check it out. I'm in a lobby right now and I'm playing with the controller just so you can see it here. Let me do the whole flipperoonie thing. Let's give you guys an idea of what's going on here. So we'll move it here. You can see I'm doing that. I'm moving here. I'm aiming down sight, firing. If you look in the corner, when I try to hit that, you'll see I don't have anything to throw. So that's all working. Now for the back buttons, we will hit this one, and that one's working. And then this is the jumping. So yeah, everything's working. Let me tell you a little bit about the easy remap. So straight out of the box, it seems easy enough, but it's not as easy. You have to line those connection points up exactly, or something will not work. For a few minutes, I couldn't get the aim down sight to work the way I needed it to work. And initially it was just firing just like that. So I had to go back in like 6 times to make sure those were adjusted exactly correctly, and then tighten everything back up. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. This controller, for right now, I'm gonna add some art to the top here where I'm gonna add a 3 or something to make this look a little better. Let me know in the comment section if there's anything else you want to see. This controller for now is done. Again, I've got another kit just like that I'm gonna be working, just like the one I use here, and I'm glad it worked. I was the sacrificial lamb. I will go ahead and put that in this special control that I'm gonna do, because there's gonna be a lot more mapping. I'm mapping everything to the right side, so that's gonna be a little bit on the tough side. So wish me luck. I'll get started on that soon. You guys will see that set of videos probably sometime in the month of January, because I'm gonna do them in pieces. I'm gonna take my time because I really wanna do it right. When I build these controllers, I don't build them just to make these videos. I want them to work and I want them to last, because I actually beat them up and play with them really hard. So if they don't work, if they don't stand up to hard gaming, what's the point? So that's what I'm building for. Again, I've got another controller that I'm gonna be doing. I do plan to actually purchase a SCUF controller at some point this year, an actual from SCUF controller. So we'll look at that once I can get some funds up to make that purchase. Other than that, that's all I got. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. I am out of here.